they're going to have Shazam go get that. And he will be able to pick that thing back up, I think. Yeah, there it is. Grabs the bomb. Now he's going to rotate back around. They will have a essentially a 3-on-2 if they're able to force their way up mid right now. And nope, now it's not going to work out for them as Zeus is able to take down Rix. Shazam will answer, removing Zeus. Here comes the rotates back. Seas will go back in that direction, but it is going to be a 3-on-2 with the bomb down. Shazam goes out of the way, and bomb is down in alt mid. Automatic all the way up banana here. And not a lot of time left to run back and get that bomb.
Yeah, there's really not much he can do here. I mean, he can grab a kill. He can try to do some damage here, but yeah, he's so far away from the bomb. He is running back, and if he runs into Guardian here, who's playing bench, which it's unlikely he'll check it. Oh, actually spots out Guardian, gets the flash, but he's got to get this kill fast. But Guardian just playing so smart, gets another flash out in the automatic and grabs the round. And so, I mean, that was Navi pretty much in control of that round the entire time, right up until the very end, where it got a little tense there when you saw automatic maybe have an opportunity, but no chance. Guardian closes it out, and that is the first round of the second overtime, going over to Navi to make it 19-18. And we have to see, you know, how much gas does Tempo Storm have left in the tank. How far can they press this?
Yeah, I mean, if you take a peek right now at their economy, it wasn't looking too hot. I mean, Shazam right now completely bought into this. He's got $50. On the other side of things, I mean, the most money that we actually see from Tempo Storm here on one of their players is $2 grand. So if they can't win this one, they're going to go into the final round of this first half of overtime number 2 completely broke. That's going to be rough, but they're doing what they need to do here, but they're low on HP. Stanislaw able to get Guardian out of there also, but Flamian seized, both at full HP, both on the rotate towards A, and they have some good crossfires set up here to not allow anyone, to not allow Seized and Flamian to be able to make it out. And automatic will go down. Shazam's looking for the player to come through the smoke. Shazam will go down, actually. Now we have a 2-on-2 with Rix down to 4 HP, and we actually have Stanislaw at 100 here, and Flamy and Seized both still at full HP. They gotta hurry to get into this bomb site, though. Stanislaw, his head's right there. His head's right there. He doesn't see it. Now he knows that he's in the pit. He's gonna drop down in there. Seized goes down. This is looking like Tempo Storm's gonna make this happen. Flamy hits the shot under Rix, but it doesn't matter. It's too late, too low on HP.
Wow.
And he's actually gonna die with the bomb, too. They both die with the bomb. We are tied up 19-19.
And that round was so tense right there. I mean, you saw Seas. It looked like he was going to make that retake happen. But, yeah, I mean, we're just sitting here watching him look at this dude's head inside the pit from the apartments, but he never took the shot. It was literally a free kill. I'm not sure, you know, how he didn't spot it there. That could have made an actual huge difference in how that played out, to be honest. But it goes unnoticed, and Tempo Storm playing the clock to win the round after that didn't work out. And now it's 19-19. So this game is definitely one of the crazier ones we've seen this entire tournament, and it came in one of the most unlikely matchups. You know, a North American team that's just barely on the radar playing against the top 3 team in the world, and it's come to this.
Yeah, we actually have some trades going out there. This time Shazam is able to go down, or Shazam goes down. Guardian, Flamy, and Seized are all out of the way here. It's looking like Tempo Storm should be able to try and get this. 2 rounds there. Oh, Edward just removed Stanislaw. It will be a 3-on-2 as the bomb is going to get planted inside the B bomb site. Let's see what Edward can make happen for his team. He's going to peek up, try and get some damage out. Roka down low to 32 HP here, but he does have that 2K so far. And let's see if Edward's able to get the peek off in time. His teammate Zeus is going to be working his way up. They need to get in here relatively quick. And they both do have kits, but time is ticking down. They don't want to be stuck in the same situation they were last round. And they're taking a lot of time to get aggressive into this. Let's see if they can get these frags. Rix is still there low. Same with Roka. Automatic will go down. There goes Rix. Roka has to get spotted. Roka does come out, and it doesn't matter. Zeus will get it. And let's see. No time.
He had the kit too. If he doesn't do that, he probably would have gotten it. He just tried. Oh no! If he jumps up, I think there's even. I mean, it may have been close, but he definitely ensures he can't get it by getting stuck on the barbecue grill.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna. Yeah, you can't win that one by getting stuck there.
It's hard to know if he would have had it or not. There might have been a chance. I think it still might have been too late, but yeah, if he mentally, if he even thinks he would have gotten it had he not have done that, that definitely just still hurts mentally.
Yeah, again, I was talking about it while that round was going on. That's 2 rounds in a row, essentially, that they just took a little too long to get things going there, and they ended up getting punished by it, and that's rough for them.
That's 2 rounds they lost by the clock there at the very end when they won the first round, and then, like I said, those 2 rounds in a row. That's definitely strenuous on the mind to have that happen to you.
Yeah, so at this point now, if you're Navi, if you want to have any hope of going into the next overtime or winning this map, you need to win at least 2 rounds. That'll force it into another overtime. You win all 3 of these, you're going to win, and that's going to do it 2-0 over Tempo Storm. Anything less than that, we're going to map number 3 at that point.
I mean, it's just thinking back like to those 2 rounds. You see 1 round loss. C's has a great retake going on there in that 1 round, but then doesn't see the dude's head inside pit and they lose a round basically because of that, or maybe not. Like maybe even if he gets that kill, we don't know. Like maybe it still runs out, but that's still kind of crazy that happened. And then that bomb defuse situation. So that's just 2 crazy things that happened there for Tempo Storm. And like I said, let's see if they can go the distance. See if they close out this map, on CT side, and if we're going to see that 3rd map, which I believe is Cobble.
I can't even remember anymore. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been so much stuff going on, yeah.
Yeah, will be Cobble. If we go to that 3rd map here, Navi definitely doesn't want to make that happen. But again, Tempo Storm, my hat is off to these guys. They have been playing very, very good here. I mean, this is almost a brand new roster, and they're taking Navi on their map into overtime. I mean, we're into the 2nd overtime right now, and there's a good chance we could go to 3 overtimes off of this.
That's very possible here. I mean, Tempo Storm did pick this map, so I guess they felt confident about it. They've done pretty impressive. They have some impressive things happen for them here. As like I said, we are still in this double overtime, 1st CT round for Tempo Storm. Shazam looking for those op picks over here towards alt spots 1 in the little pit there at mid. Cannot land the shot, however, and is forced to fall back for now. But, all is quiet. Nothing too crazy going on here. Like I said, Navi just very slow and methodical right now. It's very default. Not much happening.
Again, Navi's going to be trying to work something up towards B. It looks like they want to try and throw either a good solid fake here or the B bomb side. I mean, Guardian's geared up right now with the smoke in his hands. Let's see what they make happen. Yeah, they're just going to force Tempo Storm to waste some grenades over at the B bomb site as they're actually executing up mid right now. They're going to go for that split again. Let's see if it pays off for him. Shazam's able to hit the first shot onto Zeus. Bomb is going to be down at the bottom there. Let's see if anything happens. Edward will take down Automatic. He's going to force his way down into CT. Guardian's able to grab that bomb, and now they're going to wrap this back into an A take here after they force the guy from Tempo Storm to get all the way into CT spawn.
And how many times has Stanislaw been in this position since regulation on CT side, like having to play A by himself, and he's made some great clutch plays from this spot. Will he do it again? No, he gets spotted out by C's. Then it's a 4 versus 3 now. Tempo Storm so out of position. 2 guys still in the B bomb site, and it's really going to be tough for them to try to take a crack at this, but they're going to go for it.
Yeah, if they're able to get this retake off here, that will tie the game back up at 20-20. Or excuse me, that'll tie the. If Navi is able to get this, prevent the retake, that'll tie it up at 20-20 here. Roka does open things up, able to take down Edward. Going to continue to push here. He's still got players inside the site. It's going to be a 3-on-3 though. See if they can keep anything going. And nope, they're not even going to go for it. They didn't find a frag fast enough, so they're going to back up. They're going to allow Navi to tie this thing back up here and hold on to their guns to live to fight another day. Because, I mean, again, the situation again where they're going to have some rebuys here. Both teams will, and it's going to start getting really expensive.
Yeah, so it is going to be 20-20, as you said. And on the CT position where things are more expensive, yeah, I mean, it's actually important to kind of take a save there because, as you said, you can run out of money by the 3rd round of the half, and then you are kind of in a tough spot. So saving those 3 guns definitely can help out in the future. And there was definitely no chance they were taking that retake at that point as much clock had been burned, and the fact they didn't really find any type of launching point into that site. And so, like I said, we are at the 20-20 situation here. Navi did take that first round on the T side.
So into round 5 here of overtime number 2. Game has been tied back up at 20-20. Navi's trying to get a hold of this thing. If they could get one more round, either team, whoever wins this round, will secure themselves at least overtime number 3 at this point. And Zeus will open it up. That's going to be Shazam on the trade of Seeds, though. And we lose another one. Shazam hits the shot onto Zeus. That's a 2K for him as we have the bomb working its way up in. Got to be careful here. There's Automatic right there. Same with another one. And that is going to be Stanislaw. He takes out Edward, but Flamey's right in there. And Flamey gets that job done. He's able to get the bomb back at the A bomb site. He should have enough time to get the plant off here before the CTs get there.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2 versus 1, though, and he's at half health, and he has to play this smart. He doesn't want to go plant right away. They can just box in on him here, so he's trying to take some peeks. He's trying to draw somebody out. Now he will start the plant. No one going to push him just quite yet. They'll let him get the plant. That's fine. He peeks out, grabs the kill, looking for another.
Flamey
Just doesn't get it. Roka grabs it instead, and Tempo Storm have at least ensured another overtime with that win, but they could even just win it out and force a map 3 now. Well done. Look at him icing his veins around. He doesn't care. Shaking his head no.
They would have to be able to get this done, but let's look at the economy on the other side. Yeah, Navi, a great position here. They have tons of money right now. I mean, Flamey's got 10K, Guardian's got 10K. The other players all had around 6,000, had more than enough money to buy into this one. And I mean, Tempo, they didn't have a ton of money in this, so they're going to be able to buy out what they can here. It's going to be still a full buy, not the most comfortable one in the world, but they're going to make it happen. Navi wants to tie this back up and force overtime number 2 out of it. Or excuse me,
triple
this will be
overtime.
3.
Yeah, I mean, this game has definitely just gone. I think this is the longest game we've seen this entire tournament from both streams. So this is really cool stuff. Like I said, one of the most unlikely matchups. I mean, yeah, we did see Tempo Storm play well against VP yesterday, so you knew they could kind of challenge if their players were hot. But this is just taking it to like a whole new level, the way they've been able to drag this thing on. But can they actually win the map? You know, that's the big question that's going to get answered this round.
We're going to be about a minute out from this one, or a minute and 10 seconds from this one ending here. And I mean, Navi's going to have a ton of pressure on themselves. They have to figure out what they need to be able to do here to stop Tempo Storm from securing this. They definitely want to go into that overtime number 3. I mean, they probably don't want to go into overtime number 3, but they do if they want to be able to win this. I'm sure these guys are burnt out on overtime by this point. But
oh yeah, you know the mental stamina, that you're in right now in this type of situation. Obviously, Navi has all the experience in the world to handle this, but I'm surprised how well Tempo Storm's holding up. They're definitely keeping their own here. And so we do see Navi getting that apartment's control, looking to try to work their up mid. Nice counter nades coming in, though, to slow it down. C's taking a lot of damage, trying to press through the smoke. Stanislaw been spotted out closet, but re-peeks and grabs it. And now we're going to see the rest of Navi trying to wrap their way up the lane, but Automatic is in the pit.
yeah, Automatic's going to be trying to play that pit angle. He's able to. Shazam actually grabs that shot before Stanislaw will go down. So the rotate's going to come in here. That's going to be Flamey and Guardian both picking up frag. Same with Flamey. They have turned this into a 3 versus 2, but Zeus down low on HP, down to 3. They're going to go on the rotate. Bomb's going to get planted in A. And man, that was looking like Tempo Storm was going to secure that win right there and force map number 3. And quickly, though, it changes as both players are actually wrapping all the way around towards mid. One will go into the apartments. The other player, Roka, will be down low. He's going to throw a Molotov towards the pit area. Try and force somebody to move, and that will force a movement from Guardian. Guardian's looking to find the frag, and he gets both of them. We are going to overtime number 3 here. Navi versus Tempo Storm.
Wow, this is just incredible how this is carrying on. And it's Navi once again. Like I said, they like those heavy apartment hits themselves. They had that smoke wall they like to put on inside the pit, and they were able to, just take Automatic out of the equation as they took their initial take. Shazam able to do some damage there. Got a kill and leg somebody, but just not able to close out the round. It is Navi who comes through, and it will be, as you said, a triple overtime. And I'll try to do the math this time, if you're cool with that. First to 25 wins. If not, it's a quadruple overtime.
Yes.
I'm done.
That's quite a bit of rounds now to make happen here. We're close to getting into 50 rounds played on this map. We're getting close. That's a lot.
Like I said, this is the longest game we've seen this entire tournament. I mean, I did see some overtime games, like I said, between Luminosity and Tempo Storm earlier. Other than that, though, we haven't seen anything like that before. So this is crazy stuff.
Yeah, we came close the other night with some C9 in there. That was good, but not triple overtime like we're about to see right now. Just waiting for all the players to get ready. It looks like they're all in the server, and once they're readied up and getting this thing going here, that is going to go into overtime number 3, Navi versus Tempo Storm, where every time it looks like Navi's going to be able to just run this one all the way home, Tempo Storm shows right back up, and they're right back into this, and they're not dropping out of this. They're not giving up at all, and that's awesome to see Tempo Storm with, like I said, I've said it so many times now, essentially a new roster. These guys, This lineup is new right now, and that's absolutely awesome.
I mean, let's face it. Before anything even started, when you saw the matchup on paper, before Vito's anything, you thought, oh, Navi should be able to 2-0
Yeah, this is Navi.
Then you saw the match, and you're like, okay, Navi really should be able to 2-0 this now. Like, it's 2 of their strongest maps.
Yeah.
Mirage, like I said, they could be one of the best teams, if not the best on Mirage. We saw them get pushed to the brink there, that they did get the win. We're now here on Inferno, another map they're very, very successful on, and they're getting pushed to triple overtime, as you said, by a team that's like 2 weeks old with the 5 that they have. One online best of 3 before coming to this land. Came to this land, played VP first, had it close, comes out, eliminates Luminosity, and now here against Navi, and they're putting up impressive numbers. It's at his 2nd land ever, first land against international competition, just playing great stuff here. And I could go on and on about their players, but we're already into the triple overtime. As you said, we're waiting to see if Tempo Storm can really actually do. Yeah,
and Navi's going to be your T-sided team now as we get into the start, the first round of overtime number 3. Tempo Storm will be your CT-sided team, and already the frag goes out in favor of Tempo Storm. That's going to be Shazam getting the op shot off onto Guardian. That's going to help out a bunch here. So what can Navi put together to stop Tempo Storm from winning these CT-sided rounds on them?
Yeah, once again, we do see Navi kind of gearing up over here towards the B-bomb site. They've already lost Guardian, so one of their big weapons is already out of the equation here. As like I said, they do begin to gather up here at B. 3 players from Tempo Storm are in position. Smokes and flashes coming in here, but like I said, they're actually pretty well set up for this. Shazam will be smoked and flashed up, but there's still 2 players inside the actual site, and Shazam will actually just push through the smoke, misses the outshot, but now Navi knows he's there. They're just going to keep pressing in.
Yeah, that's going to be Ricks up top, though, on the spools. Does he get a peek off here? He's going to go for the repeat. Ends up going down. Roka will get a nice shot off, though, of his own. Let's see if he can keep things going in his favor. Roka takes down Flamey. There's Automatic, able to take down Zeus. It's all up to Edward now. He's going to be the last man standing, going against Automatic, Stanislaw, and Roka. Edward, tough position. Back in the garden. Automatic will take him down. And we are going to get into a Turtle Beach team chat now with Tempo Storm for this round.
Never mind.
Drop his ass one.
Let's push double halls again. They fucking Tim, can we get knocked?
I'll pick it again.
Tim, push halls again. Yeah, no clue.
No, yeah, you do that, the tree thing though.
No, you have a better spawn than me. You have to do it.
You should get into window though, so
Actually,
like,
it's fine, it's
if
fine,
I
it's fine.
die...
Come on, 3-0 guys, 3-0.
Yeah, you got it? Okay.
Yeah. One's opping mid. He's opping mid. They're gonna play slow. Fuck, I'm kind of late.
Tap B quick, tap B quick.
I'm coming B early.
I'm all of it.
We're getting bottom
Flash,
wall.
hit the red.
All's clear. All's clear. I'm on my way.
One
Nice.
B,
Flush.
got him.
I'm flushed over. I flushed over.
The Molly separated him.
I'm mauling him. Flashing water.
Grill, on top
Coming back
of
home. One tree.
I'm gonna flank, I'm gonna flank with you.
Another there, Rick.
One in.
Okay, I'm T-Halls right now. One push spawn. He's not back hole, but he pushed spawn. He's not back hole, but he pushed
Alt
spawn.
is clear. I'm almost
Planning
dead.
grill.
Planning? Okay, run.
Other guy was deep spawn.
Trail behind me. Yo, I can flash over for you, right?
Banana.
Okay.
Let's get banana.
Hit me.
Nice.
Good shit, Tim.
They still
There's an op
haven't
in
seen it.
spawn. There's an op in
They still
spawn.
haven't seen it.
On your left, on your left.
Here, got it.
Guys, they still haven't seen it. Right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
still
they
haven't seen it.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's keep doing it. Peeking mid, dude.
Come on, get the last one. Stop fucking around. Come on.
Put up,
Win
boys.
this one, guys.
Yeah, and you can hear them there, once again, just kind of communicating things out. You know, that they had something they've been running that Navi still hasn't seen yet, so they're still going to keep going for it because it's been these quick hits B, so they haven't been able to kind of demonstrate some of the aggression they're doing on the other side of the map. Will it play a factor here? That's kind of what we're waiting to see.
Yeah, so into the final round of the first half of overtime at number 3. And Navi has yet to pick themselves up around here. Tempo Storm is going to be up by 2 over them. If they can make this 3-0 in the first half of overtime, that's going to be absolutely awesome for them. So Tempo Storm getting aggressive here in the apartments. Let's see what's going to happen. They're going to have Automatic up top. He's going to go for the peak. Seizes right there ready for him. He's going to come out. They're not going to do much. Actually, quite a bit to Guardian Edward. Flamey goes down right there. That's going to help. Shazam able to hit that shot. Seizes going to push up. Seize can't hit the shot on Automatic, and Automatic will punish him in the apartments.
Yeah, and this is crazy. The aggression working out well for Tempo Storm. They got 2 kills and just really holding Navi back into alt mid and now putting in a 3 versus 5. We might see Tempo Storm for the first time in OT win out just an entire half without giving anything up to Navi. And it's looking very likely at this point. They continue to get the frags. It's now a 2 versus 5 for Navi with Guardian and the bomb trying to work his way up the lane, 1 coming apartments, but there's still, 3 set up at A.
Yeah, Guardian and Edward going to try and come out. Edward will fall down right there, so it's all up to Guardian. He gets removed. Tempo Storm takes all 3 rounds of the first half of overtime number 3.
So at worst, it's quadruple overtime here for Tempo Storm with that. They just need to punch in 1 more round, and they will win here in triple overtime with 25. Navi, all the pressure in the world on them to put together 3 rounds. Granted, they did win the first map, so they still have that map 3.
Yeah.
So it's not like all is lost if they drop this map. But as far as it's been taken and how favored Navi were, like I said, this definitely has to be a bit shocking to them to be pushed to this limit.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anybody would have expected it to go to overtime, let alone 2 overtimes, let alone a 3rd overtime, and it's looking like all Tempo Storm needs is 1 round. That's all they need to do, and they force map number 3. But
And
we could be seeing a 4th overtime here, very likely.
And they've always been able to find at least 1 in all these overtime
Yeah.
halves that they've played so far in T-side. They obviously had a good enough T-side regulation to make this a close game. So it's actually looking like a really good position. It's just not choking. Like having like I said, the mental stamina and the composure to just put this game away now. You're in such a great position to do it. It's just like your own mind in your way now.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be exciting to see if Tempo Storm can actually put this together right now and prevent Navi from tying this thing back up. So are we going to get live back into this? Yes, we are. We're about to go live with the second half of overtime number 3, Tempo Storm versus Navi in your CEVO Season 7 LAN Finals here. One of these guys is going to move on and end up playing CLG, who actually took down Liquid earlier today. So
Right. And we are seeing you know, Na'Vi open up, 3-man aggression over at the banana side of the map and double pit. This is, like I said, one of their classic CT setups. C's leading the way, but Fire catches him. He's forced to fall back. Timbo Storm keep pushing. They're able to get the better end of the deal there. Nice exchange. Only one left at B. It's Zeus sandbags. Will they check him? No, they just run by, but no, they do turn back and look, they get it.
Gets it. Automatic ends up checking it and hears it because look how low his team is there. Automatic goes all the way down to 44 HP. Shazam at 33, Rix at 65, and Stanislaw at 17. But man, that's a lot of damage under them. Guardian's able to take down Rix. Let's see if they can keep into this one. That makes it a 3 versus 2 here, and Flamey, no confidence in his own team. Already drops the GG. That is a rough look there for them. But they got to have those 2 players over there near Emo. This could be easy for them to sniff out right now. Just drop a flashbang in there. Can they get these shots off? Guardian's able to take down Stanislaw. They're still in this one. Guardian gets Shazam, and they are in this. They got to get that final player trying to work his way up. Guardian hits the shot, and just like that, they're still in this one. That is going to be huge for them.
Flamey's lucky this isn't like StarCraft 2 or something where if you call GG, it's just literally game over no matter what at that point. Like you already signaled that it's over. So, yeah, that's just crazy. But that has to be draining and taxing on Tempo Storm to literally get such a favorable exchange, really just countering Navi's aggression at Banana, getting such a good deal. Yeah, there was that really tense moment. Do they check sandbags? Do they not? They did. They got that. They caught B, and they still can't win the round. I mean, that's just, you got to close that right then and there. And now you're giving Navi a chance to creep back in.
Yeah, I mean, Navi, they're right back into this thing now. All they have to do, man, look at the aggression coming down. Banana, though, they finally get punished by a Shazam there. He actually gets the shot off on the C's. And let's see if they continue to push here. Now, they're just going to hold at this position. I mean, it's not really working out for them. They get some damage off onto Automatic and Shazam. There it is. Zeus is able to hit a shot, so his aggression is paying off. But look at that. Terrorist has made his way all the way up mid. That's going to be Stanislaw able to take down Flamey. There goes one in mid. This could be the round. Tempo Storm needed. Only one more player left to kill. That is going to be Edward, and it looks like they're going to be able to get this.
They're like, all right, this is actually GG, I think, now. Once again, Tempo Storm able to get some picks, get the favorable exchange up Banana. Now it's Edward in a 1v4.
Yep,
they get it, and that's it. Tempo Storm take a map off of a top 3 team in the world on one of their best maps. And that's just going to be one of the biggest stories coming out of this tournament. This is definitely the biggest map upset we've seen this event. And that's just crazy, like the story that Tempo Storm's had, kind of just like the Miracle team.
Yeah.
Just coming through and, like I said, brand new team, basically 2 weeks old. Yeah, they had some players with some experience, but many of them, especially Stanislaw, their in-game leader, and Rix, virtually none. Even Roka has limited experience playing against international teams, only playing like maybe a couple events with Elevate this year where he played some European teams. So limited experience, yes, a lot of skill and potential, but it's just like kind of insane that we've seen them push Navi to the limit on Mirage, win a map here in triple overtime, plus like pushing VP to the limit on Cash yesterday. This is just some crazy results out of Tempo Storm.
Yeah, these guys are playing absolutely lights out right now. I mean, they're doing so good. I mean, they take Navi on one of Navi's best maps, if not their best map, take them into triple overtime, end up winning in triple overtime, and now they force a map number 3 out of it, and map number 1 was extremely close also. So I mean, it's like, it's not like Navi just smashed through them and then got smashed. It was like a really close map number 1, a triple overtime map number 2. Now we're getting into Cobble, and this one might be tough here, depending on how much practice we've had with Tempo Storm on this map.
Right.
This might be a tough one too, but then again, you would say the same thing on Inferno.
I think they've only played 2 official matches on Cobble. Once was against CLG and RGN online, and they actually lost that game. And then they actually did just kind of smash Luminosity on Cobble earlier today. It was basically off like a really strong CT side whenever they were able to do it. We'll maybe talk a little bit about their CT side when we actually get to the game. I don't want to like give it away now. And on their T side, like they didn't seem to have like crazy tactics. They just kind of like, you know, just kind of out-muscled people basically, just running out and getting exchanges, which will be much more difficult against the CT side that Navi can put together in the map. Unfortunately, I think the Cinderella story might kind of be over at this point for Tempo Storm given the map. But you can't count them out. Like every time we thought they were going to get blown out the water, they've put up really good numbers and made really close games, and now they've even found a map win. So no matter what, I think they should be proud of themselves, but this is definitely really cool they put themselves in this spot.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to see that Tempo Storm can actually make that happen here against Navi. And who knows what this map's going to hold, but I definitely think it's gonna favor Navi going forward into this. But you never know. Honestly, I don't think anybody down there at the desk or anybody up here or most people in the audience would have really expected to see that kind of gameplay come out on either of those maps going forward, especially Inferno. But I mean, my hat is off again to Tempo Storm. I would have been pumped with them just getting 7 rounds on the T side of Inferno, and then they tied it up. and then they brought it in overtime 1, and then 2, and then overtime number 3, and they ended up eventually winning that map. Now we're forcing this to a 3rd map, and that's either way. Congratulations, guys! You guys are playing absolutely awesome, and if they continue to play at this trend, that's insane.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, they stumbled upon one of the other, like, top 4 maps for, you know, Navi. Because I feel like Navi really just has, like, these 4 maps, like, really strong. That's Cobble, Overpass, Inferno, Mirage. Obviously, they already got pushed to the rank of Mirage.
Yeah.
They lost Inferno, so that's already, like, 2 of their big maps that they're really struggling with here. But Cobble's another one of those good maps for them. Really good win rate on it. They do have a recent loss to Cloud9. Other than that, they've been quite flawless on it. But we'll definitely let our analysts down there talk about it a bit more. So we're going to pass it off to Scoots, Thorn, and Hiko. How's it going over there?
Thank you very much, Dust. It's going very surprised, I think is what is going on over here. You know, I kind of gave a little, please, Tempo Storm, let's go, map 3. Wow, they did it. Took almost 2 games, game and a half to do it, but took down Navi, OT.
Listen, Scoots.
You were trying to eyeball me so steely.
In regulation, it was an exciting game. There was leads, changes. Players were going off, having great games, 1v1s, fail plants, coming back. But those overtimes, just like, what are those? Those are terrible.
Yeah.
Those are absolutely terrible, those overtimes. Like, no one won those. I mean, listen, in terms of morale, yeah, obviously Tempo Storm won it. They get to go to a 3rd map. But it's like it was, unfortunately, it really was mistakes from both teams. Like it felt like over and over again, Tempo Storm would get the man advantage, and then Na'Vi, whichever players were left, would just win like a 2v3 or a 1v2, and that would extend the game to another set. It felt like Na'Vi was almost never at match point, you know, never at series point. They were always coming back into it, and just the game would never end. It felt.
You can definitely tell watching Tempo Storm towards the end there, they were getting probably a little flustered, as well as Na'Vi obviously, but it seemed like Tempo Storm just got annoyed and were just starting to push through smokes and flash push through smokes, and obviously that's what helped them actually close it out. But you could tell like both teams were not happy with what was going on.
Yeah. So and again, I think you have to give credit to Tempo Storm, as we were saying there. Was this Navi playing really bad, Tempo Storm playing really good, or a combination of both? And you know, I mean, kind of a combination of both.
Just because, like, listen, Flaming Guardian didn't have a good game. They're the stars of Navi. But with that said, Navi could still have won that game, so you have to take advantage of the opportunity you get. And listen, this guy Automatic, who plays in Neelam previously with Hiko, he had 43 kills and 10 assists in this. Now listen, there was a lot of rounds played, 47 rounds played, but the whole way he was the guy who kept putting up numbers. And you saw him in lots of situations where he was taking down 3 or 4 players again and again. Look how many 2 kills he got, 11.
Yep.
So he was doing work. He was putting in a hard share.
So he had 14 rounds where he had at least a 2K. That's insane.
I mean, and he could have lost this game, remember?
Yeah.
That would be like some Elo Hell type status.
Also, during the regulation, Stanislaw was playing very, very well. Like, being the in-game leader and having, you know, those big impact frags, usually you don't see that from an in-game leader. And I don't know much about Stanislaw, but I was impressed by, you know, how he was playing.
And also, the thing is, the way the game was going early, it actually looked like the same story from game 1. You know, they were up 6-1, but then Navi starts coming back. And even when they get a little bit, then Navi pulls ahead. And then towards the end, if you remember, it's like 13-8 or something at one point. It looked like the first map, like, okay, Navi's ahead. They're just going to cruise there. You'll get around every now and then, but no, the thing with the Tempo Storm guys is Navi was going to have to take it from them there. Yep. Even if Navi got around, nothing was going to come easy afterwards, which is actually like exactly the sort of spirit you want to see going into this 3rd map. Unfortunately, I actually feel in a way like Tempo Storm might be a bit spent after that. They just played 47 rounds just on that map alone. The first map was pretty close, like 16-13 or something. So, I mean, we're already up there, like 80 rounds or something, and we're just coming into map 3. So this is an endurance war.
Yeah, also talking about Inferno specifically, like if there's ever a map where your Opper doesn't have as much presence, it's definitely Inferno, especially if you're keeping mid and banana smoked off. Like Guardian, sure you see him, you know, on the bottom of their stats page, but you also have to think like on Tempo Storm's T side, they were smoking mid every single round. On Tempo Storm's CT side, they were smoking mid every single one as well. So Guardian could not get the opening kills, and they did a good job of shutting him down.
And I think one thing to think about too, I noticed a lot, I was watching a lot of their cameras, right? And oftentimes when North American teams play or an underdog plays and they get a round or 2 rounds or they start a lead against a team like Navi, they are losing their minds. They're very animated. They're very excited. Tempo Storm, even keel, winning and losing yet again. You know, they didn't get super excited. They didn't get super depressed. And so that's exactly kind of, you don't want to celebrate too early, you know, and you don't want to get too hyped on that. And they weren't, you know, whereas a lot of teams would be, you know, you win the pistol against Navi, you lose your mind. And they I think that, and a lot of that probably does have to do with what we talked about earlier, like Matt, Ward, and Dickens sitting them all down, saying, "Hey, chill. You're gonna win rounds, you're gonna lose rounds, but don't lose your mind over it." You know, because he's been in those teams that, you know, with the Dannys and himself that will get super pumped up, trash talk, get in everyone's face, you know, and then lose. And again, just better to stay nice and calm. So hopefully Matt has taken them outside and said, "Hey, that's great. You took Navi to overtime and you've won it. We haven't won yet. You know, forget everything."
By the way, thus far, Tempo Storm at the moment is the team from North America that has played the best against the European competition. Both the maps they had against Virtus Pro, they had decent number of rounds. They got 13 rounds, I think, on one map. They've already won a map here, an epic overtime war with Navi on Inferno, which is difficult to do. Map 1, they were right in it now. If they can do well in the third map, even if they don't win it, hey, maybe they can win it, who knows at this point in time. But even if they don't, if they can account for themselves, Will, 10 to 12 rounds, this will already be a very solid performance from a team that, remember, was the last person to be added. These were the replacements at the very end that came in. Yep. They weren't supposed to be here, and yet they've taken advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, and again, they all go next week to LA to try to win a spot in the major. So that's confidence level too. Win or lose the next one, they can at least go, "Hey, we took Navi to the fucking wall. We can certainly," I just swore, sorry, "we can certainly take anyone in North America to, you know, to the same and beat them." So that confidence level thing, it's like once you, I think it happened to Cloud9. Once you get over that hump and start winning, and you know you can do it, it makes it easier to do it. We got some replays.
All right, let's go.
Let's walk us through. I think the first one is round 22. This is going to be a Shazam round. Your boy Shazam, Hiko.
Well, that was 3 hours ago, so it's going to be hard to remember that, but okay. BenQ best play here, Scott?
It is the BenQ best play. Wow, that was amazing. That might have been miscued. I don't know.
That was the best one-man spray I've ever seen on a replay, Scott.
Yeah, I don't...
Much like the amazing monitors that BenQ provide.
I mean, the reason why is obviously Shazam had the jump on the guy, sprayed him, missed about 20 bullets, and Flamey was able to turn around and just one-shot him.
The problem there was, like, obviously Flamey did what he could, but that was supposed to be like a fail from Shazam also. So it was like a mixture of that. It was like a very unlikely circumstance because both things had to happen at once. Okay, what's next?
Looks like Stanislaus 2v3. 3K coming to us. I don't know what round.
This was late, I think.
Yeah, late. It might even be.
This might have been the following
See, this
round.
is where look at the pistol scenario here. 2v3. If Navi wins, this is game. Are you gonna see? They leave that guy out. Right, they just bail that guy completely. Throw him under the bus.
Yeah, this was
2v1
crazy.
here. And then he even finishes it off as well.
That's when we were like, wait a minute, Overwatch this guy. Like, that was crazy.
And obviously he's the most unknown guy. No one knows this guy.
Yeah. And then we got one more, and it's a Guardian clip. It's going to be a 2v4. Again, this is an overtime, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So we'll get that rolling. And then we'll come back to the point you wanted to make before that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this is where it was over.
Yeah, this would have been the end of the game right here. And probably should have been, by the way, those initial... That was a 4v2, legit plant with smokes down.
Yeah. You saw Flamey called good
game as well. Flamey GG'd. Now in StarCraft, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you lose. Like, that is officially calling the game. That's funny.
It's how this guy doesn't kill him is the crazy part. Shazam really blew that there.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, he went behind the pillar, but he had the jump on him completely. He didn't even know until he started getting fired by the bullets, so that shouldn't really have been winnable, that one. Is that it?
Yeah, that's
okay. So yeah, the point I was going to make was, listen, the way this game's going at the moment, when we were talking before about the upcoming ESL 1 Cologne qualifier for NA, we were talking about how many teams have a chance to qualify here. You know, I mean, once you get past Cloud9, who seem like a lot, there's all these teams, CLG, Liquid, you keep going down the list. No one thought Tempo Storms won. They go in, but they were like, okay, and then I guess they're added into the mix as well. If they play anything like they do here, they could qualify for the major.
Yeah.
They could go as the second best NA team for all we know.
Yeah, I mean, again, very unexpected. And another little piece of trivia, this is the third map we're playing on our main stage this weekend. Everything else has been a 2-0 for us here on the main stage. So it's kind of nice. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will bring you this final map. And again, even after this, we are not done. We got one more. The Battle of North America will continue with CLG and Cloud9 after this match. We'll be back after the break. All right, folks, welcome back to the MLG Arena here in Columbus, Ohio. Got a nice little crowd that stuck around. We've obviously got the end of this match. We've got one more match after it. Cloud9 CLG taking the stage to end the night, but we're not done here. As you can see, Tempo Storm taking on Na'Vi, all tied up 1-1. Decider map, Cobble. Cobble, Cobble, Cobble.
Yeah, I mean, Cobblestone is actually, I was talking to some people outside. Cobblestone is actually Tempo Storm's favorite map. Like,
Really?
That's actually one of their best maps.
Let's see if that's the case after this third map here.
Well, that's exactly it. Tempo Storm never played
Yeah.
it against a European team, and historically, it is one of Navi's better maps.
Yeah.
So even though they may think that's their best map, against a team like Navi, I mean, who knows?
And this is one of those maps where when you're on CT side and you're playing against Na'Vi, you can never push out of that A site, out of those holes or out of that mid area. You're just giving a free kill to Guardian every time. That's where he's going to be sat. He's going to have the AWP trained there, so you're going to have to just guess where they're coming from. You're going to have to get your information at the other side, check where they're coming from there. You can't do the normal pushes up and flanks behind. It's not going to work the same way. Na'Vi is a good team on this map. They've played many, many teams. They're good against a variety of opponents.
And unlike Inferno, Cobblestone is one of those maps where it's very, very hard to stop an opera like Guardian. You can have all the smokes in the world that you want. You can't cover everything with smokes. You can't cover everything with molly. So Guardian will hopefully find those kind of holes in their strats and be able to get those fast kills. And I think against a player like Shazam, I think this is where the map where Guardian should shine, very bright.
I mean, we saw it when Skadoodle played it yesterday against JDM. If you're in right position, you can lock down a whole site. And obviously, Guardian is another great static AWPer. He's the guy who, once he gets the first kill and the second kill, it's almost like you think it's a frag movie already. I already know he must get the next 2 kills when they come out. It's almost that sort of inevitability about his play. He's so good in terms of static positioning. So I think this is definitely Navi's map to lose in that sense. But hey, listen, every map of the way, even before against Virtus Pro, Tempo Storm's come and they've brought something to these guys.
Yep.
Shazam's had good rounds. Automatic actually stepped up here. He wasn't the guy we were at all looking at in their lineup. Roka's had some okay rounds. Stanislaw obviously even had a couple. We had a little highlight round from there. So it's not even just one guy carrying it at the moment. They've brought a whole team effort and they're going to really need it on this map. Like, I know we emphasized that before because we didn't think on Inferno it would be possible.
Yeah.
But we saw it was very difficult even then.
All right, you know what this means, folks. We are about to do this. The last map of this matchup. Na'Vi taking on the brand new Tempo Storm. Loser's gonna go home, folks. Take it away, Misled Dust.
Thank you guys so much. What an exciting series this has been in this best of 3. We're going to the third map. Tempo Storm has really stood up here and just taken Na'Vi to the brink. And I mean, just crazy with the delays. This team's going into triple overtime. This thing is not giving up at all. Tempo Storm is still in this. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, this is insane. We're on map 3 here between such a huge underdog and Na'Vi. You should give it up for these guys, man. This is incredible that it's come this far. And let's see if they can go even further. Can Tempo Storm actually win this set? Can they actually knock Na'Vi out of the tournament? That would be incredibly insane. But like the guys said, and like we know from watching Na'Vi, we know Cobble's such a great map for them. They did have a recent loss to Cloud9, but they still have an incredible win rate on the map. So it's another tall mountain to climb for Tempo Storm. They've already done great so far this series.
I think great maps are thrown out the window at this point for Na'Vi because Inferno's a great map for them, and it didn't happen. And so Guardian will be able to open this thing up against Shazam. And wow, Stanislaw on a quick trade of Zeus right there, trying to find another one on a slope player. That is going to be Flamey. Can't hit the shot. Flamey will take him down. And we're going to be 2 versus 4 now at the moment. Roka trying to hit the shot, just missing everywhere. Automatic takes down one on the Flamey. He's going to be trying to push here. Can he get the shot off? Trying to fight against Seized, and Seized will remove him from the round. 2K for Seized. And that is going to be Na'Vi up 1-0 over Tempo Storm.
Yeah, nice piss around there, just attacking into the A-bomb site. You did see Stanislaw being able to pull off a frag automatic with one as well, but it just wasn't enough. Really well done there, especially from Seized and Flamey to close it. Like I said, that A-split pistol round, and so that is Na'Vi. I think that's actually the first pistol I've seen him win this series, so it comes at a good time for him.
Yeah, definitely. If Na'Vi is able to get some pistol rounds here and continue that, I mean, they got the first one on this map. If they can get the second one, once the second half starts here, that's going to be huge for them. 2 rounds, they can easily turn into more as long as they get the anti-ecos, and it looks like they're going to try and get this anti-eco inside the B-bomb site. Roka will be the close man. They're standing. But and there goes Ricks, actually. So Roka's still going to be playing down low. Doesn't hit the initial shot. Actually, he still grabs it as Edwards running through the smoke. Zeus quick to trade the frag out. And we're going to have only one player down from Na'Vi here, and they're going to try and take control as Automatic actually takes out Zeus. That is going to be big for them. Still low on HP. They're trying to hold this bomb site. Shazam does have the scout in his hands. Automatic with the 5-7. Same with Stanislaw. Automatic's going to go on the repeat. Seized is all over him because he does have the AK. And there goes Shazam. But Stanislaw, we've seen him do so very well in the past with a pistol. Can't get more than one there as Guardian will take him down. That's 2 rounds for Na'Vi.
That's actually their second pistol, but last time on Mirage, when they won it on T-side, they got immediately eco. So this time they're able to get the 2-0 start, so definitely a little bit more of a proper start from Na'Vi coming in here. You know, they do have the upgraded guns. They still have those SMGs, those MAC-10s and a couple of players, and they do have those AKs in the hands of Flamey and Guardian. Tempo Storm forces to, you know, obviously take another save here. So Na'Vi, you know, great opportunity to have their first 3-0 start of the series coming into the opening gun round. And after having a tough time there on in front, even get pushing to the brink on Mirage, this has to be a bit more refreshing for Na'Vi.
Yeah, definitely, and that was, I meant first pistol of this map, because it was the only one that they actually played, but Automatic onto this one, able to get one out. Roka right there, Stanislaw also, and there goes the nade coming in from Zeus, able to hit that shot, but players very low here. Zeus down to 15 HP, Roka down to 57, Automatic at 16. And Na'Vi still trying to make this 3-0, but they're going to be down a player here as we
down
we
2
have the
players.
ecoing. Yeah, they're going to be down. Well, not looking good for them. Flamey going to be out of the way. Seized out of the way. Edward out of the way. Also almost going to drop Guardian right there. That shot so very close. Doesn't matter, though. Now they're going to be down 1 as Guardian able to remove Roka from the round. And they're still trying to figure out. Automatic doesn't know where the bomb is yet. They haven't spotted it. He knows there's an execute coming out at B, though, so he's going to go on the rotate to try and help his teammates out. But gun advantage here for Guardian and Zeus trying to get into this bomb site. Guardian takes down Shazam. We're even at 2-on-2. Rix is right there. Those Rix is able to get in with the knife. Guardian takes it down, and Guardian secures the round. But Rix with the knife through the smoke. What an absolute animal to make that happen. That's 3-0 in favor of Na'Vi.
And I mean, actually a good way to find people. You know, like you're just spamming through the smoke. You don't know if you're hitting anything or not sometimes, but with a knife, you definitely hear the noise and kind of know, and he actually just gets a kill off it. So that's kind of crazy stuff out in the smoke. But it's not mattering. Guardian still closes it out there in the end, but still, you know, pretty fun to watch. Opening gun round coming out for Tempo Storm, and when I watched him play against Luminosity earlier this tournament, you know, you do see this kind of setup, you know, Shazam starting out at A with the op, as most operas do, but they were just so good at holding off anything that happened at Skyfall. Na'Vi, wide variety of plays here. They have some mid-slope long A splits. They have some long B presence as well. And it looks like they are lining up for one of their more A hits. You know, good. They have some really good smoke wall also on the A bomb side, so you might see one of those get demonstrated here in just a second.
So into round 4. Na'Vi's going to be hold on to this one. They have the gun advantage here. As actually, is a buyout going to be coming? Actually, no gun advantage because the op is in the hands of Shazam. I thought Guardian had one also, but no, he does not. So gun advantage is actually for Tempo Storm, but the equipment value goes in favor of Na'Vi as they have just barely more. And actually, at the moment, it's dead even after some grenades get thrown here. Even though Tempo Storm doesn't have head armor here, it's not going to do much though. As the AKs are coming out from Na'Vi, head armor is not going to do anything. If that bullet hits you in the head, you're going to be dead that round.
Oh.
And Roka in a position here. Does this work out for him? That Molotov's going to go down.
Look at
That's going to
this.
have to force him.
This flank from Stanislaw, Edward didn't pick up on it. He didn't quite get there in time, so he really could just do a heck of a lot of damage at this point.
Oh, he's going to come in from behind. Does anybody hear him? When does he start running here? Doesn't matter. They're going to take down the initial one. Seized right there, and he's still going. There it is. Finally, he picks up the shot, gets the bomb drop, able to get himself into this fight a little bit. Gets that one frag out, but it will still be a 2-on-2. Shazam so very weak right there. Seized can't get him. Shazam tries to go to peek out onto Edward. Edward's just going to force the issue. He's going to run right at him. Pulls out the knife at the wrong time. He could have had the shot. Can he get him? Finally gets him down and out of the way. Now we're into a 1-on-1. Stanislaw is going to run away because there's no time left on the clock, and
Yeah,
Tempo Storm will be able to pick the first all-important buy round up thanks to time expiring.
And that's just a crazy time. Like, they leave Edward over at A after they kind of worked it and put some pressure. They transition back to B, but Edward just happened to not have that timing right on point to catch Stanislaw on that flank, and he comes up with a couple of big kills, and Shazam had a couple of nice op shots as well. And even though he couldn't come up with the final frag, as you said, he killed off enough clock. Stanislaw just backs off with the bomb down in long B, and they do win that opening gun round. And still pretty limited economy here for both teams. You can see Tempo Storm forced to rebuy some FAMASas, so money's definitely tight there. But same with Na'Vi. I mean, whoever loses this is going on a save. And so this is definitely a really big round for Tempo to get the early tie, or for Na'Vi to kind of start stretching out.
Now, Guardian's going to be working with that op in his hands, trying to fire off that shot right there. Did that actually shoot? I believe it did up middle. I just didn't have any stat. I was looking at a different monitor. But yeah, he's going to step out. Edward goes down. Guardian does hit that shot. And the secondary one. Stanislaw and Shazam both out of the way here. That's going to turn this into a 4 versus 3. Roka and Rix left alive with automatic. Rix will remove Guardian, so that op threat is down, at least for the time being, unless somebody picks it up. I mean, we could see Flamey maybe try and grab that thing. No, they're just going to run right on by it and continue to go forward. Seize goes down to 20 HP. Luckily survives somehow as damage was getting sprayed at him there. Flamey's still trying to find that player up on the balcony, but no one's going to peek that out. So there it is. Rix is going to peek. Almost gets ripped apart because he had the nade in his hand. Doesn't go down somehow. And here comes Roka on the rotate too. They have in the corner right there. Seize can't hit the shot onto Roka. Gets punished for it. Zeus will take down Rix. Now it's only one man left alive. That's going to be Roka. 1v2 here. Flamey, can he get Zeus? Not able to do it. Flamey and Zeus will hold on. And that's 4-1 in favor of Navi.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map where Guardian's op on the T side can just be much more effective. It's not the tight corridors and the small spaces like you see on Inferno. There's a lot more, open space for Guardian to be able to manipulate, and he comes up big there with 2 kills. He has 9 kills in the half so far. The rest of the team also is coming in. Really nice A split. Well done there. Temple Storm, as we were kind of talking about, tight economy, forced to save, and probably forced to double save if we're quite honest about it. They're only going to have 1,900 coming in next round as well, and that's probably just not going to be enough, really, unless they want to do some crazy force. So it's really Navi looking like they should be able to push to 6-1 unless something happens. They did do a counter boost. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they can pick this one up. No, he's really out wide, and the number 2 man of Roka is actually rotating away from him right now. Do they peek out and see him? Yeah, now he's going to go for it. Now they know they have that one man isolated there. That is going to be Seize. Seize has to be very careful here. He doesn't want to give him that free AK, but if he can get a grip of kills there, that would bode well for him. He's getting some kills. Finally gets taken out. Automatic with the pistol in his hands, able to take down Seize, but Zeus on the rotating. Guardian with the op in his hands again. Turns us into a 2-on-2. So Automatic and Roka left alive here. Nobody's able to get a gun yet from the CT side of things.
Yeah, I mean, it was Shazam come up with 2 kills, but he had that tunnel vision on the M4 and got caught, but it's still a 2 versus 2, and Temple Storm still has done quite a lot of damage.
Guardian. Gotta be careful though, he's getting pushed right here, and he hits the shot anyways. Guardian is an animal, gets himself the 3, and Navi will hold on there, 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, Guardian so fast. You miss a couple of shots, you give him an opportunity to react, and he's going to hit those a lot of the time. That's why he's one of the best operators in the world and considered one of the fastest. Obviously, Skadoodle has been kind of trying to rival that when it comes to raw speed, but that round, Guardian comes up big once again. Though I have to say Temple Storm, just being on pistols, they still did do a lot of damage. I mean, they still did make that, quite a close round, but it just wasn't enough. And like I said, kind of in double save territory. So, like I said, Navi, great opportunity here to push 6-1. They're doing the counter boost again. Last time, Roka couldn't do anything. There was no upper B. This time, there are a couple of numbers here.
They're waiting, and they still hit the shot. Seize is going to be able to melt him right there, and nothing going to get yielded from that one by Roka. Navi's looking good here to try and make this a 6-1 as Tempo Storm going to be on that eco again.
Yeah, and they already have lost the man. Roka once again attempting the counter boost. Wasn't able to find anything with it, and everything's kind of slowed down since then. This is just typical Navi, really slow, methodical in the way they work this map, no matter what side they're on. And, obviously knowing that the economy of Tempo Storm, even more worried about aggression, just, making sure they're set up for it. Stanislaw trying to find a timing here to push into mid, not able to find anything, finally doing some damage to Edward, but not getting the kill. And so it is Navi looking in great shape here.
He does grab the shot on the Flamey there. Seize is quick to trade out Automatic, though. Can they keep this going? But Rix will be that last one left alive. He's going to be 1 versus 4 here, as Seize does have a 2K. Edward's got 2. They're working the bomb directly towards him. They're not even going to stop here. Rix will hit the shot on the Seize. Continues the fight here. Edward's there. They got to pick him up. They can't keep letting him get these frags on their teammates. I don't know why they're pushing. They got to get out of there.
Yeah, they finally ran away. They finally realized, okay, this dude's getting some kills. We just need to bring this bomb to the open A bomb site and actually just ensure the plant. And so they will be able to do that. They thought they could beat Rix with numbers. It didn't pan out, but at least they had themselves a 2v1 with the bomb down. They have some good positionings. It's going to be very tough for Rix. He could ace, though, if he actually gets this 1v3 clutch.
Yeah, down to 42 HP. It's going to be hard, though. He's got body armor here. He has 1 smoke, and he's going to step out initially. Wow, Guardian actually misses that easy shot. Doesn't miss the secondary one. Will pick it up. Seize got 2 that round. Same with Edward. That will make it 6-1 in favor of Navi.
Yeah, we are going to see Tempo Storm back to buying, however. Shazam is going to have his op, and like I said, he's used to playing kind of that mid-area with Stanislaw. The rest can be playing towards the B side of the map for now, and you got to wonder, though, if they're going to move Shazam's op around, maybe try to counter some of the spots Guardian's been looking to play from, which really it has been kind of mid mostly, so that's where Shazam's going to take it. Will he actually take the peak? That's the question here, as he is starting to push up into the mid-room. It looks like, yeah, he's looking for the cross. Misses it.
Not able to hit it, and he actually gets hit through the wall right there. Oh, man, that's rough for Shazam. Guardian's able to hit that shot through the wall, do a ton of damage to him, brings him down to 5 HP. That could have been bad. If a nade would have came out at the same time right there, we would be down a Shazam at this point. 1 op out of the way, but Navi still trying to work this towards the A bomb site. They still have that number 1 man. Stanislaw aggressive here. Let's see if he's able to catch anybody from the side.
Yeah, I mean, he did a round to go, and he definitely could peek out here and grab it. But like I said, Na'Vi has some really cool A wall-off stuff, and it seems like they're setting up for it from what I can tell. Stanislaw gets pop flash in, clears the mid-room, doesn't spot anything, just has to back off. But they already have gotten a rotation here. We already do see Rix, but now he's floating back to B. And Na'Vi, just like I said, setting up for what looks like a pretty heavy A execute.
It looks like they're gearing up in that direction. They still have that number 6 man of seized all the way over there towards the B bomb side. He's actually going to go down into the drop right now. Got to try and work against it. He does have automatic right in front of his face. There goes Stanislaw. Flamey's able to hit that shot. They're going to spread this out a little bit. He's seized in such a great position to catch those rotators. Grabs automatic right off the bat. That's going to cut off Roka, and Roka won't even be able to get to the site now because of having seized right there. He's already got himself a 2K. He's going to kind of go on the hunt here and look to see if he can find Roka. Roka's got to be careful trying to work it out of the window room, and he's going to see Flamey right off the bat, but he is getting flanked here. Seized is right on top of him, drops the nade down. Seized goes for the peak, will hit the headshot, and that's 7-1 in favor of Na'Vi.
And I mean, this is just Na'Vi slowly working these sites and just picking Tempo Storm apart. Guardian's op has just been on point this game, much more so than the rest of the series. He's actually winning or doing a 14-2 record. So this is, like I said, definitely Guardian waking up. And it looks like we do have a pause. Not sure if this is a tactical timeout here for Tempo Storm, as it definitely could be given the situation. But yeah, like we said, Na'Vi just playing some great stuff here. So kind of tough to think about what could Tempo Storm really do here. Like I said, it's just really Guardian out-opping. I mean, even when Shazam was holding an angle and looked like he might have an advantage, Guardian still quick, able to get out and grab the pick. We saw Shazam trying to get aggressive himself. He did miss a shot there, and he took a lot of damage. It wound up not mattering in the end, but like I said, it was definitely it's definitely been Guardian just really coming alive here as the pause has been lifted as we just wait for this round to actually come underway here. Tempo Storm forced to save yet again, so Na'Vi in position to possibly push this here to 8-1.
Looking like they're trying to make that happen here. They're going to be going against the pistols of Tempo Storm. And look at this aggressive coming out mid right there. Oh, no, he's actually going to sink back in. That's going to be automatic right there, playing the smoke. Does Na'Vi look for it? No, they don't look for it yet. Now they're going to find him. They see him in the smoke. He's just trying to run around. They can't find him. And Flamey finally takes him down. But the aggressive A-Halls push is going to work out for 2 frags, 3 frags. Can they keep it going? 4 frags over there. It's going to leave Flamey all by himself. The bomb is going to be down out in mid. Flamey's got to try and rotate all the way around through the A-Halls here as guns are going to get picked up by the Tempo Storm members. Rix already has an AK in his hand. Roka with the 5.7. Stanislaw with a P250 at the moment. And Flamey all by himself, though. He's already worked all the way through A-Halls. Got to look down to his right as he has that Rix over there with that AK. I'm surprised. We actually have Stanislaw not really getting too aggressive. Well, he's only got 12 HP, nothing to really do. And Rix with the AK in his hand will secure the round for Tempo Storm. Great eco from those guys coming out.
Yeah, it's a big round from Tempo Storm to be able to capitalize on a safe situation like you saw there, just pushing in and grabbing the frags, and that's definitely, one of only 2 rounds Tempo Storm have won this game. Comes off of a save like that, and other than that, they had the opening gun round, but it's been a tough road for them, but Shazam is going to have the op back, but so does Guardian, and we will see Shazam working into that mid-room. He's going to be a lot more passive this time. They're not looking for the actual mid-peak. He knows he got burned for it last time, so he's definitely playing a bit more cautious here. Na'Vi, in the meantime, staging up over here outside long B. Roka is going to get boosted up behind the tree. We already have Edward pushing out to the box, but for now not peeking. But Molotov, nope, doesn't actually get close enough to flush him out.
Yeah, he's going to be able to survive through that thing, and he's still going to try and work on this, just waiting for the Molotov to go so he can peek out a little wide. And he might be able to grab Rix here if Rix gets a little too aggressive on this angle peek. But Roka is still up there behind the tree looking for anything that he can grab, though. It's going to be interesting if it's going to work out in his favor, as Edward's still wanting to peek this.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's just kind of holding some flashes and stuff coming in. Roka's still behind the tree here, just kind of waiting for someone to peek out. Flashes pouring over here from Na'Vi as they're still continuing to try to push up long B, but Rix and Roka combining here for a couple of frags. Well done. Headshots going off. Flamey finally trades it back, but it's definitely Tempo Storm taking this round for now. Let's Guardian comes up big with Seized.
Seized is right there trying to get something, though. And Guardian with the op in his hands. He's going to try and rotate away. He's got to be careful, though. He does have that CT trying to get an angle on him. Doesn't matter. He will be able to get away from that automatic, not able to feed into that angle quick enough. And that will be Guardian going on the save here, as the Tempo Storm is going to be able to make that a 3rd round for themselves here. And that's actually 2 in a row for them, so that's really going to help them out a lot. And they don't actually get truly reset here, which would have been rough.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's just Na'Vi like working out long B really slow. They were trying to pour their flashes out, but no one was peeking them. No one was giving them any type of pick. They were just kind of waiting for someone to step out, and no one actually ever did for Tempo Storm. Finally, Na'Vi just commits, and Rix and Roka come up big, especially Ricks. He had a hat trick there on the round, so that was definitely the bigger force there. But as you said, Tempo Storm stringing a couple of rounds together, finally starting to tap into the economy a bit here for Na'Vi. In fact, this could be a round where they might consider taking a save. But no, with the op being saved from Guardian, they are going to force up what they can. Galil on the Edward, Tech9 onto Zeus, and we've been seeing them do these kinds of little force buys throughout this series, but it makes even more sense since Guardian did actually hold on to the op.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to be into round 11 now. Navi's going to be up that 7-3 scoreline. We've seen this before, and Tempo Storm's been able to battle back from this, but hopefully into round 11 now. Navi's going to be able to pick up the pieces here on this extremely broken buy. I mean, those 3 Rec 9s, it's going to be all up to Guardian, as Dust said, with the op in his hands, to really try and force the issue here, and then Edward to be the backup. So they can either trade that op out, or Guardian's just going to go off with it, be able to get some good rifles dropped down.
And it's just the exact same setup from Tempo Storm, like Ricks and Roka just playing passive on the long B, boosted up at tree, using the same thing that worked for him last time, throwing some incendiaries, but man, that Molotov actually misses in a big way. But Na'Vi going to start pouring out here with these Tech 9s in this op, but they're still not finding any pick spot yet. Roka steps out from the boost, he grabs 2 with the spray down, looking for more, but being held off for now.
Yeah, Edward's able to shut that down. Guardian's right in there, able to take down Roka, so we're going to even things out at a 3-on-3. Let's see if Guardian keep it going, but here comes Stanislaw on the rotate from behind. Is he able to pick up anything here? Edward's able to get down the drop. There goes Shazam, so still one man going to be on the flank. That's going to be Stan. He doesn't actually go into the drop. The automatic picks up Edward anyways, so it doesn't matter really about the drop player. So Flamey's going to be right there with the Tech 9. Oh, it's going to be tough here. Stanislaw's going to move over to the top of him, drop him down. That's going to be the bomb dropped out of the way. So it's all up to Guardian here. He's going to be 1v2. He's trying to look around, trying to see if he can get a shot on automatic, and they're playing Ring Around the Rosie right now. They don't really know it. Automatic's going to do the smart rotate, though. This is going to be tough here. Guardian's going to try and get it, but Automatic had the angle and punishes him for being a little too slow on the uptake. That is going to make it 7-4 now. Tempo is still battling their way back.
And just holding off these long B pushes the past couple of rounds, and it finally does force Na'Vi into an actual save. So Tempo Storm now winning the last 3 rounds in a row, looking for more here. Great chance to get to 5 based on the economy of Na'Vi. As, they do buy up some Tech 9s, however. They had the money to still be able to afford that and take the save and still get their full buy-in next round. So curious to see what they can do with it. They could just press really heavy Skyfall with Tech 9s and just close the distance fast. It's definitely one option, and that appears to be what they're going for.
And they are going to go directly into it. Flamey's going to drop down. He's going to continue to push here. He does pick up that silent M4. Kenny keeps something going. Roka and Ricks are both going to team up to get frags. They just want to prevent the bomb from getting all the way in, getting a plant off. Roka's doing all that from the coop right there. That is going to be a huge round for Roka. Gets himself a 4K. Other frag will go in favor of Ricks. And that is going to be 5 rounds for Tempo Storm. Now they're only down by 2 as we hit round 13.
Yeah, Guardian back on the op, however. We've seen him be able to really work that A side of the map in mid. He's been catching Shazam when Shazam's taking those battles, or he's just been able to work into the site and catch picks. So that's definitely a big tool that Guardian can put to use. Or they've really been having a tendency lately to push long B. Maybe if they can get Guardian's op out there and take picks, that could work out. But I have to say, Ricks and Roka have been smart about their peaks. They're not really giving Na'Vi the picks they want, which is really kind of bogging Na'Vi down. They try to take those hits. So they are going back to what's been more successful for them. This A side of the map, trying to see if they can't work some picks with Guardian's op, as well as just trying to get control of this mid room, and just like I said, just kind of work this A side of the map.
We're still going to have Stan a little aggressive in the halls there. Completely blind, has to bail out of there. Somehow gets away from that. I think before the flashbang went off, he was able to see Zeus, but he's able to get out of there and not get punished by them. So he's going to drop that smoke down. He's going to use that as an angle to try and work against here. And Na'Vi not really getting too aggressive in it. They're going to throw a flashbang in that direction, and they are really geared up for the A bomb site right now. Essentially 2 players in the halls. 2 are going to be down in mid. One's going to be lurking over towards the B bomb site, and that'll be seized again. And look for him to try and make that same play.
Oh no, but that's Guardian taking down Shazam again on picking. Stanislaw, though, still stuck over here at long A. Really well done. Just playing the smoke so well, so smart. Like I said, I love how Stanislaw just plays these rounds so patient and just plays the positioning really well. Very little mistakes made by him, and he's definitely keeping his team in this round, but does get caught by Edward, and now it's a 4v3 take for Na'Vi on this A bomb site.
Yep, Edward's going to be right there trying to get his way in. He's going to get a good frag and continue to push here. It's going to be Roka, Ricks, and Automatic trying to get this retake going.
Do they
the
check
bomb
Ricks?
is going to get down. Who are they going to check there? The number 3 man is still hanging out there. That's going to be Ricks. He's still going to be playing the angle, but they're going to pick up these frags either way. If they can get it, Ricks, now they know for a fact Seized is going to come through. This is the great time to do it. Automatic was on the reload, picks it up, and still Seized is trying to work these angles. He's going to be 1 versus 2, trying to find Roka. Roka's right over the top of him, trying to find each other, and no time left. Seized won't be able to do it.
Well done.
Roka secures the round. That is going to be 7-6 in favor of Na'Vi, but I mean, Tempo Storm is on a run right now.
Even on a 3v4, they just played their spots so well. Like I said, just playing so patient, playing together. You know, Rick's finding the perfect times to peek out and grab kills while people are distracted from his player's balcony and door. Then him just being at the back of the site and Na'Vi knowing they have to take care of him to ever get the bomb down. That just causes a huge annoyance. And Tempo Storm, especially Roka, able to use that to his advantage to pull off 3 frags. And now it's Tempo Storm really putting together a nice streak, 5 rounds in a row. But Edwards finds the opening on
Great
Shazam.
shot there, but Stanislaw quick to trade that thing out. That is going to make this a 4-on-4 here, but the gun has been picked up. Flamey almost goes down. Only 13 HP left here. Going to be that 4-on-4 gun battle coming out between these guys as Zeus does have this AK there trying to fight it out. Let's see if he's able to pick up anything. And he's high HP. Oh, Seized and Guardian down and out of the way. Stanislaw got to the double. Flamey will answer, trying to get Stan. Stan's got 3. Can he grab the 4th? Flashbang will prevent him from grabbing it initially, and Automatic will come in there and close down Zeus. We are all tied up here, 7-7 now.
Yeah, Stanislaw, like I said, he's more known to not be that greedy, kind of fall back, kind of take, proper angles, but that time he just flashed himself through his smoke, catches Na'Vi completely off guard, and comes up with a triple kill round. So this is now Tempo Storm putting up 6 in a row, tying the game up at 7-all, and what looked like a really, really rough start. Like, Na'Vi looked like they were jumping ahead. We're like, okay, yeah, this is one of Navi's top maps, great win rate. Cinderella story, might be coming to an end, but now all of a sudden Tempo Storm are right back into this game based on how these last rounds have played out.
Yeah, looking pretty good here. Tempo Storm going to be in the final round of this half here. We're at round 15. Again, they've made another map extremely close, at least just in the first half anyways. So all they got to be able to do here is get 1 more round in their favor, and they'll officially win this half. I mean, we're in the final round of this half. I think you get 8 rounds here off of Na'Vi. That's going to be great for them. And you can't say it enough. Another map once again where Na'Vi should have been able to smoke through this thing, and Tempo Storm shows up one more time, able to make quite the half of this. Seized is able to take down Automatic, but Ricks quick on the trade out. Flamey's right there to remove Ricks. Can they get into the B-bomb site? Edward is doing all that he can to take down Roka. Shazam will answer. We're going to be into a 2-on-2 now. Shazam with 2 of them. He's going to try and fight for this one. It's going to be close, though. Flamey's going to be right there. Oh, my goodness. Misses Flamey. Guardian works his way out, and we're still into that 2-on-2. And Flamey will punish Shazam for missing the shot. It's all up to Stan. Peeks out a little too wide, and Flamey will get the kill onto him, too. That's a 3K for Flamey. Right. And Na'Vi will push this 8-7 over Tempo Storm.
And finally, it was Na'Vi being able to have success coming out of Long B in the past. Ricks and Roka were able to, not give them any picks, like play passive, really make it tough on Na'Vi to find entrance into the site. That time around, they were able to pick up on Ricks and Roka pretty quickly. You saw Shazam try to make a play. He got caught, left Stanislaw alone. He couldn't find the clutch either. And so Na'Vi is able to win out that last round, at least secure the half. Yeah, Tempo Storm did go on a pretty nice winning streak, though, and still make that probably kind of a nail-biting half for Na'Vi. But at least they had the final touch on the half, and they did secure the half victory. So take a look at the numbers here.
Yeah, it's a good 16 rounds for them to make that happen. I mean, man, 13-13. Coming out there for C's, but still on the other side of things, the only player that really underperformed there, Automatic with only 7 frags, Shazam with only 8. I mean, those are a little underwhelming, right. But I mean, the big step up from Roka, Stan with 11 right in there, Ricks with 14. I mean, they were playing absolutely great there as we're about to start the second half now.
Well, I mean, the big difference there is in fact, like Guardian was taking just head-to-head duels with Shazam, and he was just winning them every single time. That definitely really kind of shut down Shazam's ability to have any type of impact, whereas before, when he wasn't really necessarily meeting Guardian face-to-face, he was able to kind of make some things happen. So I think that was kind of one of the biggest differences there. But like you said, it is 8-7 half. Pistol round coming in here for Na'Vi on the CT side, and Tempo Storm just crashing into the Skyfall immediately with Roka leading the charge, but gets caught.
Yeah, Zeus right there. Same with Flamey. Good shots coming out. Zeus hits the first one. Flamey will hit 2. And they've already forced Edward up top on the balcony there. He's going to get greedy against Stanislaw, but doesn't make it happen here. So Flamey's going to have to try and turn around and trade this frag back out as Ricks is down low. Ricks will get taken out. And there's only one man left alive. That's Stanislaw. And C's will push up and take him down. That makes it 9-7 in favor of Na'Vi.
Yeah, can they hold off the eco? They were able to do it in the first half, but we did see them have some struggles on pistols and ecos throughout the rest of the series. It is Tempo Storm buying up the Tech 9s and armor here. Typical second round stuff when you don't get the bomb plant, trying to give yourself a chance in this round at least to make something happen with those powerful pistols. Obviously it doesn't work, then you just take the third round loss, but we'll see if they can do it here.
We're going to be into round 17. Navi's going to be out by 2. They they bought a lot into this round, excuse me. They're going to have those 2 silent M4s. And again, another fast drop play here, but Navi's going to be ready for this. But they just have to hit the shots, and Flamey's not able to make it happen. He makes one, but Zeus and Guardian and Edward all get into the frags here. It's just up to Automatic now. He's pretty low on HP. CEVO will come in on the rotate to clean that thing up. That's a 10-7 scoreline now in favor of Navi.
Yeah, now this third round should be much easier. I mean, that was kind of the big hurdle he had to get past, is getting past those Tech 9s. Now, Tempo Storm pretty much has to take a full save to get that normal buy in the opening gun round. So should be 11-7 here for Navi. And see if they can keep us out on the safety side. I mean, against Luminosity, I really did just see Tempo Storm just doing these quick pushes like that, like either just really heavy Skyfall or really heavy long B. I didn't really get to see them do very much on the A side of the map, and once again, very limited data haven't really got to watch Tempo Storm play much, so not sure what to expect once the gun rounds come out, but we do know Navi is a great Cobble team, and so it's obviously going to be tough for Tempo Storm, but we've been saying that all series long, and they've proven us wrong in many cases.
Oh, look at Navi just shutting that thing down over there at the A bomb site. That's going to be 11-7 now. Even though Tempo Storm was going to be your ecoing team that time, they tried to make something happen here. They should be onto the full buy. Not going to be the healthiest one in the world, but they're going to be able to get into it. And most of them are going to have some sort of utility grenades to work with here.
Right, so once again, they don't have a whole lot of smoke, so they have a lot of flashes though, and like I said, they were really just storming out long B in all the rounds I saw against Luminosity because of that. They just really just kept, pulling flashes over and just rushing in, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But they're going to meet Flamey and Edward, who are counter-nading this and setting up for it, and Edward jumps in right at the right time, but can't get the kill. Roka grabs it instead, but that nade comes in.
Oh, Zeus right there, able to get 2. Flamey's able to get 2 of his own. Now there's only 1 player left alive. That's going to be Shazam, 1v3 now, trying to work around the fountain. He turns it into a 1-on-2 as he takes down Guardian, but Zeus will come in and clean that thing up for Navi. That makes it 12-7 in favor of Navi, as Tempo Storm going to be on to either a very broken buy here or a save round.
Yeah, and like I said, that was kind of their tried and true tactic against Luminosity earlier today, and it did not pan out at all for them against Navi. They initially did get Edward, but then, Zeus and Flamey just came in there and took care of things, and it's Tempo Storm straight away to a save. Navi, great opportunity here to extend the lead to 13-7, and now we have to see what else does Tempo Storm have in their playbook. Like I said, I didn't see them really run much else before, so it might be one of those situations where they have like really limited options, and if they're not working, this could spiral out of control quite quickly.
Yeah, so into round 20 here. Navi's going to try and turn this into a 13-7 scoreline if they're able to. It's going to be an eco coming out from Tempo Storm. They just have some upgraded pistols. We're going to see a CZ, a Deagle, a Glock there, but he did buy a flashbang instead. And then those the 2 Tech 9s coming out between Rix and Shazam. Let's see if they can overload the site somewhere, or possibly overload one of these spots, steal away a rifle, use that rifle to get themselves into a bomb site or a better position to either save that rifle or get themselves a bomb plant to have more money going forward into the next round.
Yeah, they're gathering up over towards the B side of the map once again. The bomb's still being left over here at the mid slope, so I'm not sure if they're going to try to go Skyfall to A. I did see them actually run that a couple times against Luminosity as well, so that could be the play, but bomb already down from Guardian top.
Yeah, Zeus misses his grenade, but he tries to line up some shots here. Doesn't work out in his favor. Here comes Guardian, and Flamey is able to just lace those guys up. No one's going to be able to get out successfully or get any frags with it. Automatic falls down at the end. That's a 13-7 scoreline in favor of Navi.
Right, we are going to see Tempo Storm be able to get the full buy out here. AKs across the board. Op is going to be on Shazam. They're at max loss bonus as well, so even with the loss here, they're still going to be able to buy going into Navi's map point attempt, but they really need to get some wins because if they've kind of let this second half, with the second half, let the map kind of slip away from them here. But, once again, lining up over here, over towards Skyfall, but a little bit more presence over on the mid side of the map. Shazam looking for picks on aggression. Sees is pushing up long A, but not quite peeking out, just holding the angle. And so Navi not going to give Tempo Storm anything for free.
Yeah, Edward's going to be trying to peek out of that, and we're going to have Automatic and Stan right there. Look at that. Look at those 2 players. You can see the height there. And, man, they're in great positions, though. Neither one of them was not blind there. So Roka actually ends up picking up a shot there onto Guardian. That's going to help him out quite a bit. He does go down to 16 HP to make the shot happen. But out in the middle, he's got to back up away from that fire. And looks like Zeus does pick up Ricks right there at the drop. So still even here,
Right.
going back to a 4-on-4.
Big, though, that they did get Guardian down. I mean, he was just playing up close on mid, and Roka's able to take him out. That's, like I said, a big tool down for Na'Vi, but it's still an even 4-on-4 situation. It does slightly favor Tempo Storm. They are starting to gather that bomb over towards mid. C's playing the long A. We do have Zeus having already rotated. He has spotted Shazam over here on the mid slope. Shazam misses a shot, but no harm, no foul. No one else rotating just yet. Automatic lurking over here at long B. He grabs a kill. This is forcing a rotation back to B out of Zeus, which is helping open up the A bomb site where the actual attack is coming in.
Yeah, we're going to have Roka over there. Same with Stanislaw. They're both going to be trying to work their way through. And Automatic trying to swing that way because they still have, or excuse me, Shazam, because they still have Automatic over there at that B bomb site trying to make something happen here. He's just distracting enough, but C's is going to drop down, takes down Roka. He's looking towards inside the site, doing some good damage there. Automatic will fall down at the end. It's going to be a 3-on-2 now, but Shazam has the op trained towards the back of the APC there. Let's see if he's able to pick this shot up. C's is just jumping around. C's will hit the shot on Stanislaw. Now it's all up to Shazam. Can he clutch this thing? Able to get the Molotov off, remove Zeus from the round, but they know where he's at. They know his planks are just spamming him now. Down to 32 HP. He's got to be very careful here. Bomb is going to get picked up, and Shazam hits the wrong player, and Seized will trade him out. And that is going to be 14-7 in favor of Na'Vi.
Yeah, this a good response there from Na'Vi. I mean, all the way through and through, Tempo Storm seemed like they were having advantages. Like they were getting the better trades. You know, Automatic makes a nice play at B to pull that rotation to that side of the map, opening up things for Tempo Storm to get in and get the bomb planted. But in the end, Automatic gets caught flanking. You know, eventually you start seeing players like C's really step up and make some frags there on the retake. And so Na'Vi have now pushed it to where they are just a couple of rounds from a win, 1 round away from the map point. Like I said, Tempo Storm still has enough money to buy here, max loss bonus, so they can keep force buying out, but they need rounds. And Guardian tries to push long A, and Shazam doesn't.